Hello everybody, I'm Ben Smith alongside Harry Hugo, bringing you live coverage of Farnham Town versus Binfield. It's the second consecutive Tuesday which we've been live streaming. Farnham Town now the league leaders after their late win over Ashford Town on Saturday. And Harry, that was a nervy one but an important 3 points.
Yeah, it was a nervy one. I thought Ashford were excellent. Luke and his team set up the team in a very different way. A lot of man-for-man marking all over the pitch. No getting away from it. It was a really tough test for Farnham, but quality shines through, and a moment of brilliance from Harry Cooksley sees us get the 3 points and top the table. It's been a very good start to the season.
Does what Ashford did on Saturday maybe offer a blueprint to teams like Binfield, who of course said they're underdogs tonight? It's going to be difficult for them. That maybe there is a way to get out this Farnham team and make life difficult for them.
I think you can make life difficult for Farnham. I think lots of teams have tried it over the course of the last couple of years, and you can get at us for a sustained period of time. It's just, can you sustain it for 90 minutes? And we've seen it time and time again where teams just cannot continue to be as impressive in the press for that 90-minute period. And it showed at Ashford in the Ashford game on Saturday, really, where they were excellent for 70 minutes, and then their legs just went. They've done so much chasing of the ball that, when a bit of space starts to open up for your sort of key players, the likes of Harry Cooksley and Jack Dean on the right-hand side, you start to get those moments and those openings, and that's when moments of quality can punish teams, and we've been very good at that for 53 straight games.
Yeah, Binfield were 2-0 up on Saturday against Hamworth Villa, pegged back in injury time. They've got 4 new players who have joined them in last week, so definitely some fresh faces, fresh ideas, and almost an ideal result for them on Saturday. Just fell short.
Yeah, it would have been an excellent... they would have taken a point at the start of that day, but would have been an excellent win if they managed to convincingly sweep aside a very good Hamworth Villa side. But, this league has just been very difficult to predict. We've obviously done very well against 2 of the top teams in Westfield and Harrow in the last couple of weeks here at the Memorial Ground, but there's still a huge amount to be said about the inconsistency of some of the teams that were tipped at the start of the season. I think Farnham, to their credit, have been excellent at kind of just grounding out results and making things happen, and we've been lucky enough to have a spell of home games to do that to as well.
And Farnham Town, the league leaders, make their way out for this home encounter with Binfield. They're top on goal difference, looking to extend that lead to 3 points. And the defence sees just one change, with Max Meaton coming in at left back. Otherwise it's Pat Nash, Jack Dean, Ryan Kane and George Stepney. Joe Jackson's back from a groin problem. He's alongside Mark Waters in midfield. Harry Cooksley, the match winner on Saturday, makes his 60th appearance for the club tonight. He scored 3 in his last 4. Sanderson Croy is alongside him. In behind Shea Brennan, who gets another chance to impress, with Adam Little up front. On the bench it's Liam Flanagan, Richie Mbele, Lewis Flatman back from suspension, and Owen Dean, who scored 9 and 9. He's seeking his 50th goal for the club tonight. We will give you the Binfield team as well. It's unchanged from that 2-2 draw with Hamworth Villa. Coleridge Trouble Jr. in goal. Rhys Jones Jr., the Bermuda international, is in defence with Luke Wayborn, Josh McMenemy and Ethan Gold. And it's Razir Smith-Jones, Jamie Hilton, Connor Jeans and Glenn Gabriel, who also rejoined the club recently. Daniel Fosu scored against Hamworth Villa in his second appearance for Binfield, and Kiki Dzimba also scored in that game and got an assist on his debut. On the bench for them it's Daniel Lewis, Harvey Griffiths, Reshan Espirit, Lucas Sipano and Charlie George.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting test for Farnham Town this occasion. Shea Brennan, like you said, gets a nod again up front. Probably needs a goal, you'd say, after an excellent finish away at Moneyfield 3 or 4 games ago. But he's been given that chance alongside a very informed Adam Little, and Owen Dean dropped to the bench just probably to manage his minutes more than anything else. A young player, played a lot of football over the last couple of years and started every game so far. So I think it's also probably Paul Johnson looking at trying to strengthen his bench options. And you've got Lewis Flatman, who's been out for 3 games with a suspension, and then only I think it's only. Well, yeah, you've got Richie Mbele, who's not sort of an attacking player, and Liam Flanagan on the bench. So an attacking change off the bench with some form may not be a stupid idea from the manager. A manager, we can't second guess his decisions. 53 games unbeaten, Ben. It's been a hell of a ride.
has indeed. And the next chapter of that ride is brought to you by the podcast guys who are sponsoring the live streams this season. Branded podcast specialists who can give your brand a voice. We thank them for their support, along with all the other partners of the club. Delighted to be able to bring you this live coverage. Thank you for joining us. And we hope for an entertaining affair. We certainly got one on Saturday, albeit not perhaps the type of entertaining affair Farnham fans would have wanted.
Yeah, and the Memorial Ground has started to fill out, as it always does late on these Tuesday evenings. Not many games on in the Isthmian League this evening. We will keep you up to date with the games and the score lines, but this is probably one of the games of the evening.
Binfield in all red will attack the clock end first half. As always, important that they get off to a bright start. The first thing they try to do is send one direct towards Jordan Stepney, who did have a wobble a week ago against Westfield. Almost allowed them in for a couple of chances, but Pat Nash did bail him out.
Yeah, I thought Jordan Stepney was excellent on Saturday. You know, the boys in defence had much more to do than normal, and they did it really, really well.
You're starting to see at least a settled back 4 out of 5 with Nash, the right back, and the 2 centre-backs. Max Meaton and Liam Flanagan have both played a bit of left-back, as has Joe Jackson, who gets a nod in midfield this evening. As Sam Croy presses from the front. And here is Jackson. Back in the side. He's looking to feed that one through to Liddell. And that's helped on. And the task of trying to hold up the play for Binfield is assigned to Kiki December. It's going to come for Mark Waters. Cooksley playing further forward. That's how he got his goal on Saturday. Here's Disancroy. Brennan wants it. The flag's up against Shea Brennan. But a lively start from the front four.
Yeah, it was a nice run from Shea. Just needs to hold it a bit more. Very, 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 very keen to get his goal here at the Memorial Ground. Get to score here. And we're going to see a far more creative sort of midfield, attacking midfield too in Sam and Cooksley from the start here. Ashford with Owen Dean starting in that role. You've got far more direct. He scored a fantastic goal to open the score in there, but Cooksley far more of a like-for-like replacement to Daryl Sanders.
That header was completely mistimed. And that was Glenn Gabriel getting back in.
Joe Jackson started well. Going to be as much as I say it's going to be a creative attacking midfield, I think it's going to be a far more combative Farnham, pair of eights.
Yeah, Joe Jackson, who joined us last week at half-time, and he'll be delighted to get a chance at centre midfield, having played most of his football in defence. Was brought in initially as a midfielder. When he's fit, he does tend to play somewhere. Today happens to be in the middle, and here he is again, just looking to hook it on.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out the last time that Joe Jackson had started in centre midfield for Farnham Town. It actually was sitting one here at home in the FA Trophy. FA Cup.
FA Cup, yeah. Farnham out of the FA Cup and the FA Trophy, but perfect in the league. A lot of it thanks to this man, Harry Cooksley, who scored that late winner against Ashford Town. Cooksley looking for the run of Disancroy, who does
he hasn't given a handball there, but Binfield have a chance.
They don't make the most of it. Canane looking for the run of Disancroy again. He's always keen, isn't he, Disancroy, to make those straight, narrow forward runs.
Yeah, and I think you'll really see a sort of a front three with Sam Disancroy, Shea Brennan and Adam Liddell, and Harry Cooksley just sort of tucking in.
Disancroy, early season addition from Hungerford. Got a goal to his name in the win over Harrow. And here he is, Jack Dean.
Farnham started brightly.
Then it's Brennan making that run. He'll be desperate to make an impression tonight, Shea Brennan. Competition for places There's a real luxury Paul Johnson has.
Yeah, and I think Paul Johnson will be pretty happy with the start Farnham have made here, off the back of a sort of cagey start against Ashford. This is a much more controlled one against an athletic Binfield side.
Pat Nash's kick will find its way to Liddell, whether that was intentional or not. Here's Jack Dean. Ball stayed in play there. Now Liddell. Into the middle for Brennan, just too high for him. But it's vintage Adam Liddell there, pulling out into the channel.
They did really well there. I thought Jack Dean would try and beat his man.
Waters
That's poor though.
And a transition opportunity here for Binfield. Dzimba with the effort. Well dealt with, and this time Cooksley can get on the ball.
Come out, Sam, come out!
Max Meaton looking for Brennan. Happy enough just to allow the defender to clear that one away.
Yeah, if I was a back four, I think Liddell and Brennan are probably a nightmare starting partnership. They're just going to run and run and run.
Here's Canate. And Stepney. Had a couple of injury concerns in the first few weeks of the season, Stepney, but looks comfortable now in Farnham colours.
Yeah, I mean, Binfield have started by sitting right off Farnham here. Farnham probably just need to make a few more passes count before they look for that killer ball. Brennan always looking for that spin in behind.
Middle's going to chase it down. Certainly not doing anything pretty here, Binfield, but that was effective by Dzimba, just giving Meaton a little nudge.
Yeah, Farnham need to make sure they just stay patient. I'll probably say it every single time in the first 10 minutes, but they're so good with the ball that sometimes they get bored of doing it and start looking direct, and that's normally when they actually cause themselves more problems.
Heavy touch from St Croix. Was stolen high up the pitch. Dzimba waits support and
St Croix's done really well.
The right decision in the end. Brennan might get to this.
It's causing a nuisance there in behind Shea Brennan.
Farnham just need to be careful not to lose the ball in those areas. So St Croix makes the run, the flag goes up. Seen both Waters and St Croix lose the ball in their own half.
Yeah, but I thought both have done really well to recover the ball. St Croix actually carved out a great opportunity.
He's really nailed down a starting position in this team, St Croix, since his arrival.
Stand still!
Here is Fosu. And that was well intercepted there by Joe Jackson.
Yeah, it was.
The other was trying to hold that up on his chest, cushioned it to the opposition. Here's Hilton. Jack Dean cuts it out. And he will drive forward now, Jack Dean, as he loves to do. Gets it back from St Croix.
Sensible from Joe Jackson.
It's moved across to Meaton, who has offered plenty going forward from left back in these last few weeks.
Yeah, he's been excellent, Max Meaton. Probably, again, didn't expect to start as many games as he had at the start of this season. But always does so well when he does.
Jackson. Ryan Canane. Good possession is from Farnham. Jackson. Front two are certainly looking to pressurise Farnham when they're on the ball, while the rest sit a bit deeper.
Got to move the ball.
Jackson. Jack Dean is in acres of space. And he's been found by Joe Jackson.
Needs to stay on side, Farnham Town.
And Dean's ball was maybe a bit soft. There were three bodies in the box waiting. Given away though. And as we move into the 10th minute, Farnham starting to take control.
Moneyfields go 1-0 up at Rains Park. Goal from James Franklin.
Jack Dean again making the
Jack
run.
Dean's onside.
No flag on Jack Dean, big chance.
What was
And
that?
again he tried to square it and it's behind both Liddell and Brennan.
What a chance.
And here comes Gabriel. Referee thought about putting the whistle to his mouth, decided against it.
Joe Jackson did brilliantly there. But Jack Dean's got to put his foot through it, even if it was at the near post. It was a brilliant pass in from
Brennan.
That's a nice ball.
We'll get to this. And gets the throw. Relentless running from the strike partnership up front.
God, I'm still trying to get over that chance.
Here's Jack Dean again.
That's a great pass.
Dissin Croy. And he just looked to guide it into the bottom corner. Relatively straightforward save for Fugler Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, Jack Dean was annoyed with himself after spurning that opportunity with both Liddell and Brennan in excellent positions in the 60-yard box.
He got too unselfish. Just put your foot through it first 10 minutes. No one's going to have a go at you.
It's one of them, you put your foot through it across the goal and the rebound's there for the two strikers.
Exactly, yeah. Disappointing one. But working openings, Farnham Town.
A lot of it is coming through Jack Dean. He's getting space.
Mix up at the back.
Between them, they deal with it. Stepney and Canning. Here's Max Meaton. Again, Jack Dean is screaming for it down below us on the near side. That's good use of the body from Gabriel.
Brilliant
Jackson.
from Joe Jackson.
Tackle, and he's looking for Brennan already. Is this Brennan's chance? He's round the goalkeeper, Shea Brennan, and applies the finish. Shea Brennan rewards Paul Johnson's faith in him by scoring his first home goal in the league for Farnham Town. They lead on 12 minutes.
It's a brilliant pass from Joe Jackson. I mean, all the creativity we were talking about from Harry Cooksley, it's actually been Joe Jackson that's created all the chances. It's a great first touch around the goalkeeper from Shea Brennan, and what a fantastic finish it was too. Liddell was there to tap it home if he needed to, but Farnham go 1-0 up after 12 minutes, and it's been coming, you feel.
Yeah, Shea Brennan will have been delighted to see his name on the team sheet this evening, and they'll be even more delighted to have marked the occasion with a goal.
He would have been delighted after that ball took ages to go in, for that ball to hit the back of the net too. Could have easily been out of a little goal, but it was an excellent Shea Brennan finish and a brilliant Joe Jackson assist.
And a classic Brennan goal, really, running in behind, rounding the keeper.
I mean, they've just not been alive to it at all, Binfield. They've had a few times where Brennan has got in, albeit offside a couple of times, but been a few times already, a few warning signs.
And Liddell was on the move that time.
They're so high, Binfield.
Yeah, you wonder what...
There's a man down for Binfield.
You wonder what the goal might do to their tactics, but before they can think about that, they've got a 10-2. I think it might be to Zimba.
You know what happened? Off the ball. Linesman seeing nothing. One shape. Yeah, really. I mean, we're looking at the football web pages now, the live scores. I mean, Moneyfield's going to Rains Park and getting an early goal. I mean, this league is just so unpredictable. We obviously went to Moneyfield away, put 5 past them. It's probably one of our best 45 minutes of football this season. And Rains Park are really struggling. And if you look at the squad, you'd say they were going to be right up there. So, you know, I'm certainly not. I'm not expecting that result to stay the same.
Yeah, it's been a very, as you say, unpredictable start to the season, and you're sort of trying to pick out those teams that are going to be contending at the top. They've all been a little bit inconsistent. Of course, Farnham are 5 wins from 5, but they've had a couple of defeats themselves in cup competitions. Nobody's been perfect, have they?
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, like I said right at the start, I think we've been fortunate to have a decent run of home games, and we are very, very good at home. And, you know, at this level, just building a bit of consistency in August and September is absolutely critical to building that momentum going into the winter months. So the winter months really are where you expect the team to start dropping points, especially the really favoured teams at the top end of the table. But yeah, I mean, I've been disappointed, I have to say, in the league so far with the lack of consistency from the expected top teams. But what I would say, I've been impressed with the league because there's a lot more teams that will be in that playoff picture than I possibly thought.
Absolutely.
But back to this game, I think, you know, Farnham have started really, really hot, starting to pick little channels and keep control of the ball. Not really allowed Binfield a sniff, bar a couple of mistakes at the back.
We did see Ashford respond, and Farnham couldn't press home the early advantage. On Saturday, that's a head injury after the challenge by Liddell.
You're going to get with that with Adam Liddell. Every game, you know, he's going to be strong in the challenge. He's going to compete. He's a top player. And another defensive nightmare. If you're playing against him, you know, you've got Shea running in behind, running you ragged. You've got Liddell running across that line as well, plus getting stuck into the tackles. It's not been a great start for Binfield, all told. But like I said, like you said a minute ago, Ashford were in exactly the same situation even earlier on Saturday, and they managed to claw themselves back into the game.
It's all a bit quiet though on the Binfield side of things down below us, is what you would say. Not quite as much belief maybe at this stage as we saw from Ashford, but that can all change, of course.
Yeah, I think that's probably the thing we have to give Ashford the most credit for. Like, there was constant energy resonating from the bench, but also the players on the pitch. I thought they were really, really good, and yeah, they would definitely be disappointed to have not come out of that game with a point. I'm not sure they would have expected to get anything, let alone be in the running to win it. But yeah, like we said earlier, Farnham were just too good at the right times and killed the game and took home 3 points. But yeah, started brightly here. Joe Jackson coming back into the side has been excellent. Different style Farnham Town midfield.
Well, it just gives Paul Johnson something else to think about. Another problem, a good problem. With Jackson's taking a claim to play in midfield.
Well, he was brought in to be a central midfielder, and you can see that tonight. And he's fit as a fiddle. He's a very clever footballer. That's a poor pass.
Another transition opportunity as Fosu calls for it, headed down by Kinane for Gabriel, and now Fosu again. Might have an opportunity here, Fosu. Across the face of goal. Mark Waters gets it away. And they can't get out here, Farnham. Fosu will settle for the corner.
Yeah, it came again from a Farnham Town mistake, which would be frustrating for the management team below us because they've had such control of the game so far. And actually only Binfield chances have come from those defensive errors.
So we await how they approach this. It's headed away by Stepney.
And a chance.
Jack Dean. Adam Liddell now. Brennan in the middle. Liddell goes around this man. And it's put in by Shea Brennan, his second of the evening. And just as Farnham were defending the corner, it is they who counter and make it 2.
Shea Brennan, you said it in the first goal, but he's rewarded Paul Johnson twice in 18 minutes. Fantastic finish, a proper striker's finish, that one. Brilliant from Adam Liddell, tenacious, ran the outside of defenders, picked his pass better than Jack Dean did earlier in the first half, and Shea Brennan was there to turn it home.
It was all very easy for Liddell though, wasn't it?
It was far too easy, and it all came from a Binfield corner, and we've seen that a couple of times this season already for Farnham Town.
Well, they've certainly pressed home the advantage here. Farnham done a much better job of it than they did on Saturday. And if you are watching along as a Binfield fan, you might start to get a bit worried at this stage as Liddell can't quite keep that in. Can Binfield stay in control of their emotions? It's a daunting place to go 2-0 behind.
Binfield definitely have a threat of a long throw. Farnham do need to be aware of that, but they also have a threat here with a couple of men over on this far side.
There's Jones Jr. Jeans. And that's misplaced. It's not having any joy whatsoever, Binfield. Just as they were forcing a couple of mistakes and got the set piece, punished within 20 seconds.
Don't need to be so close, Colby.
But the simplicity of it was probably what really annoys the Binfield coaching staff.
Look how tight the back four are, and it just gives Jack Dean all the time in the world, and what a touch!
Amazing touch from Jack Dean. And he was looking for Brennan, who's on a hat-trick. They do get it away, and Gabriel will look to launch a counter. And that's nice feet from Fosu. But the ball he tried to play for Gabriel was a bit too complicated.
Yeah, they've just forced it a bit going forward, Binfield.
Waters, and again, Jack Dean's in space.
Good from Disencroy. Jack Dean has been the man over every time, though, hasn't he? He really has. And they've done nothing to negate that threat.
Liddell making the run in behind. Linesman's flag does go up. It was tight. But the approach from Farnham to get those runners in behind the Binfield back line is really paying dividends.
Farnham definitely looking to play the ball in behind a few times here. Sort of making the most of this Binfield high line and the pace that Brennan and Liddell have shown so far in this first half. Been excellent.
Sammy, stand still. Pull you out, Sammy. Yeah, Sammy, forward.
Here's Cooksley. Forward. Disencroy was making a darting run through the middle there, ignored by Cooksley.
Clever from Meaton.
Jack Dean. And they are still pressing.
They are. But that will tire them out. That will tire them out.
Seems to just be the front two that are really aggressively putting those Farnham defenders under pressure. Pat Nash looking to find Jack Dean. Who gets the flick. That was Owen Dean-esque.
Oh, we saw
Jack
him off
Dean.
his line. Saw him off his line. That would have been some way to clinch a hat-trick.
Little nudge there from Gabriel. Not quite cute enough to get away with.
Yeah, it was a bit too obvious.
Jackson happy to come deep and collect it from the centre-backs. In a bit of trouble there, but gets out
Done
of it.
really well. Now someone's got to play the ball, and that's their ball every time.
Jack Dean. Stepney.
Joy to watch so far, Farnham Town.
This is a lot more like it. Again, it's Jack Dean. They're looking to find.
Takes it straight into a garden. And off a roof, into a conservatory. And that's £35 down for the club.
Dean. Won the ball there, Dean, but it is Binfield who regain possession. Jackson.
Brilliant from Dean. Brilliant from Dean.
brought down there by McMenamin, by Gold rather. And it's a dangerous position when you've got someone with Harry Cooksley's quality standing over it.
I think Joe Jackson has been one of the stars of the show so far. Beating the press, nice touches, early assist. Been excellent.
Come back for it! Come on to it!
Cooksley's delivery. Jack Dean's at the back post.
Great header.
Into a dangerous area. St Croix looked to take a touch. And here's Gabriel.
Yeah, there you go. Well done. You took mine.
Jones Jr. into...
Bit of a gap in midfield this time.
Here is Dzimba. Tracked by Stepney. Dzimba's cross. Pat Nash holds on to it.
Good hands.
And looks to launch an attack through Mark Waters straight away. Jack Dean's spent more time in Binfield territory than his own.
He's also been excellent.
Don't you narrow, Goldie! You don't need to fucking hold his hand! Yeah, you stay out! Stay out! Yeah, you can stay out!
Jackson really enjoying himself.
Yes.
Seeing a lot of the ball.
Now there's a huge amount of space again for Jack Dean.
Yeah, it doesn't take Farnham many passes to create that space.
This is where it's on.
St Croix also on through the middle. Just lumped away. Stepney in control of the situation.
Yep, sensible.
Jackson. Not afraid to take a man on, Joe Jackson. Cooksley, lovely turn.
It's nice.
That's Meaton. And Farnham happy to keep the ball.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic spell for Farnham. These are the minutes. These are the spells of football that tire the opposition.
Diagonal ball from Stepney, just not quite right for Jack Dean, but a lovely effort.
That's the out ball every time.
Yeah, Canay and Stepney certainly have the quality.
As Ashford Town are 2-0 up away at Hartley Whitney. It says 1-0, so maybe it's just gone 2. It could be. There could be a. No, it's just 1. It's just 1. 1-0 up. Ashford Town down the bottom of the table, and it's the man who scored here, Murta Musavi, on Saturday.
Jack Dean.
Ooh, that was a nasty one.
Now Fosu. Joe Jackson again, winning the ball back for his team. Canadian into that right channel, and Brennan gets there first. St Croix, first time delivery.
Pass.
Canadian read that excellently.
Yeah, Farnham have recovered the ball fantastically.
Waters, and now Jackson. And Farnham gets set into this pattern again. Passing with purpose.
And they know they're going to work the opportunities if they just keep the ball. Tire this Binfield defence out. This press. Cooksy's been everywhere. Started to get involved and get on the ball.
They'd love to make a statement tonight, Farnham, after that effort on Saturday. They are taking care of business where Brains Park Vale and Hartley Whitney are not at home against a struggling side. It's not always as easy as just turning up and getting the 3 points. Jack Dean looking for the run of St Croix.
Yeah, that's good. Moves Farnham up the pitch. Another brilliant spell of Farnham Town possession.
Cooksley. Lovely football this. Here's Jackson. Oh, Brennan. It was fizzed into him by Jackson and he couldn't quite bring it under.
It was a brilliant reverse ball. And it was almost better than Shea Brennan even expected.
I wonder whether that would have needed that much pace on it from Jackson. He obviously felt it did.
He's just playing with a zip, isn't he, Joe Jackson, in that middle?
Playing with confidence as Zimba goes down.
Yeah, not for the first time. I feel like he might already be a bit bored of doing the pressing.
Yeah, it's not reaped many rewards, not in this last 20 minutes or so. Again, they're on the move. Keeper has to come out. The way Joe Jackson's playing, you wondered if he was just going to go straight for goal there with the keeper off his line.
The keeper's having to play as a sweeper keeper. That's no nice pass.
Oh, and it's going to come for Liddell. Looking for the back post, and that's another cross that's not quite weighted properly. Farnham have been in that position
so many times. So many times. I think that'll be the biggest frustration from the management. The recovery has just been superb.
First time passing here.
That's good.
And
he's not offside, but it's just
making the run. So incisive though in Binfield territory, Farnham. It's completely different to what we saw on Saturday, where they could barely string a few passes together. This has been some response, and they would love just to get that third to really kill Binfield's spirit. St Croix turns into centre circle, and now it's Harry Cooksley. He's looking for the run of Jack Dean. It's going to come for the right back. Jackson. To St Croix. Can he work the space for a shot? He can! He scores! All too easy for Farnham Town as Sam de St Croix gets his second goal for the club.
That is how I'd describe it. It was all too easy. It really was. It was he felt like he had so much time when he took the first touch. Little jink inside the near post. That was far too easy for Farnham Town. And this Binfield side is getting absolutely ripped to shreds.
Yeah, there's no two ways about it. This is one-way traffic. The most dominant we've seen Farnham all season, really. And to think they're doing it without Daryl Sanders, who's injured, and without Owen Dean, who's been the source of so many goals. 9 in 9 this season. Owen Dean not playing tonight, but the goals being spread around, Harry, is no bad thing.
Absolutely not. We saw that last season. A successful season, obviously. Invincibles. 170 goals scored, but our top goal scorer, Owen Dean, only scored 22. So sharing the goals around and having goal threats and players in form that you can bring off the bench is absolutely critical to maintaining momentum and continuing to go on and win a league. We've seen that, and we're trying to replicate it.
They won't stop Farnham. We did hear Joe Jackson last week, of course, telling us how there was a meeting at the start of the season where they spoke about being more ruthless, and that means they're not just going to sit on this 3-0 lead, they're going to want more. And Joe Jackson is playing with the utmost confidence.
You rarely see Joe Jackson find a nutmeg. That's not his game. That was fantastic.
This is
one too many. Just singing his praises.
There's Dzimba. And now Smith-Jones. Binfield shell-shocked. And even that just puts them under a bit of pressure. And it results in them giving it away. Paul Johnson furious down below us.
Yeah, I think this is where Farnham just need to be ruthless, like we've just discussed. This is a game that should be well out of reach. Not that it isn't already, but it should be well out of reach.
Binfield looking to do something about that.
Your right shoulder, Sammy, your right shoulder.
It is a little bit reminiscent of the Bad Shot League game on the first day of the season when Farnham quickly scored 4 in the first half and didn't quite see the same intensity in the second. Love to see this go for 90 minutes if you're a Farnham fan.
Yeah, I think that's what we've... For 18 months, as good as we've been, that's where we've not been so great. When we've been so good in the first half, not really made it pay with a silly scoreline. And that's, again, excellent from Jordan Stepney. And him and Ryan Canane have put not a foot wrong, really, in the last 120 minutes of football.
Yeah, it was a freak goal they conceded on Saturday. Took everyone by surprise. Merton Musabi's effort. Again, they aim to this right-hand side, and it's flicked on by Dean for Little. And now Cooksley looks to release Jack Dean again. And that's good covering.
Oh, that was a mishit pass. But again, Farnham Town recover.
But here's Smith-Jones.
Former Farnham man, Smith-Jones. Played 45 minutes in Farnham Town.
One back by Liddell, and now Jackson.
He's onside.
He is indeed onside, and he takes it around the goalkeeper. Is this the hat-trick for Shea Brennan? You better believe it is! Shea Brennan has kick-started his Farnham career in style. First half hat-trick for last season's top goal scorer in Step 5. What a way to show Paul Johnson and Farnham Town fans what you're made of.
What a fantastic goal. Composed. Maybe a week ago, he rushes that finish. But this time, cuts inside, buys his time, and just clips it past the Binfield defender. Hat-trick in the first half for Shea Brennan, and there's a man on the bench, Owen Dean, that will be licking his lips to get on this field. 4-0 Farnham Town in 36 minutes.
It's devastating, and Binfield just haven't learnt their lessons, really. Again, it was simple ball played in behind, and Brennan's made no mistake with his finishing. And this is a serious statement from Farnham, albeit against opposition that haven't really learned from their mistakes. Joe Jackson with another interception. I've completely lost track of who's got all the assists, but
I don't really remember who played that pass.
Harry Cooksley was.
Joe Jackson's got 2, Adam Little got 1.
One thing's for sure, Shea Brennan has got his hat-trick, and that's 4 league goals for him this season. That makes him the second top scorer at the club all of a sudden.
He's inevitable. Fans that have watched him all his career will tell you that. He's a very, very good finisher, but he's a form player. You can see that, classic striker, number 9. And he's been fantastic this first half. But so is that man who's just moved the ball, JJ. Joe Jackson, number 14. He's been fantastic so far.
Yeah, and you wonder what fans of other clubs might be thinking tuning into this.
What a pass.
There's another opportunity with Waters playing it across towards Brennan. He's stretched for it. Liddell gets there. Now Jack Dean. Farnham continue with this intensity.
There's another good chance. Just out of reach for Shea Brennan to put home his 4th goal of the game. But another clinical move from Farnham Town from back to front so fast. And Binfield just do not seem to be learning.
Every single Farnham player is contributing. Not really anyone you could say it's been below an 8 out of 10, really. Apart from Pat Nash, who's barely had anything to do.
What he's done, he's had to do well. He's kicked well. An important part of that ball keeping sort of back 3 of Ryan Canane, Jordan Stepney and Pat Nash.
Yeah, Pat Nash, a crucial part of the Farnham system, not just for his shot stopping. It's another miss-hit pass. retrieved by Gold.
Excellent. Good. Stay there. Don't get something.
Switch of play there from Gabriel.
That was a nice pass. That's better from Binfield.
Here's Ethan Gold. Into the middle, and Stepney not taking any chances. Binfield get the throw. Around about 5 minutes until half time.
Rains Park take the lead. 2-1. Jordan Gallagher goal. After going 1-0 down inside 7 minutes at home to Moneyfields. Like we said about 10-12 minutes ago, we weren't expecting that Moneyfields lead to last a long time.
Max Meaton's down in the penalty area. He's had his injury issues this season, Max Meaton. Hopefully this isn't one that ends his evening.
Yeah, you always worry about Max Meaton. Even when he looks fit, you're worried about him. But we know his injuries to his right foot. Just like overextended it, sort of got bruising on the sort of upper part of the foot, tendons, or we're not 100% sure. But he's played through the pain over the last couple of weeks and done so with aplomb. Been fantastic for us at the start of this season. Just as Farnham Town have been fantastic at the start of this game.
Yeah, and they've taken their goal difference to plus 20
in 6 games. That's quite a statement. Any comments on the YouTube?
Well, there is some support for Binfield from Daisy.
Sorry, Daisy.
Who can only apologise
Sorry
for how
for ruining your evening.
First 40 minutes have gone. A lot of love for Shea Brennan, of course.
Looks like we're about to see a change. And it's going to be Richie and Bele.
And that might spell the end of Joe Jackson in midfield, or we've seen Mbele at left back.
I think Farnham have kept the ball so well. I mean, I'd be disappointed if we see JJ go to left back here, but Farnham have kept the ball so well that I think you could see Richie come on at left back.
We'll soon find out as Meaton slowly makes his way off the pitch. He's struggling, to be quite frank. He's made his way off.
Hamstring injury, according to Mr. Givens down there on the bench.
Yeah, shame for Max Meaton. He's had a decent run in the side. Fan favourite Meaton.
Yeah, replaced by another fan favourite, and a fan favourite that stretches back 3 seasons. Be interesting to see which position Richie and Bailey takes up. Could be left back, could be centre midfield. They might look the same in this attacking Farnham team.
Throw is a long one, a very deep one. Away, second time by Mbele. Who looks like he is going to play centre midfield. Jackson's had his fun.
And he's done a lot with it.
And Adam Little's onside this time. Can he get in on the act as he tries to burst clear?
Oh, brilliantly defended.
Brennan looking to weave his way through.
I thought Adam Little was going to take that chance earlier. Kind of looked to loop the keeper.
Jackson gives away a foul as his first moment of play at left back.
Binfield looked to play quickly. Oh, they've ruined their own opportunity again. And Richie Mbele gets his foot on the ball for the first time.
Waters been very positive with his movement and his passing this first half as Jackson screams for it on the left flank. Waters didn't quite recognise it in time. Jackson's still screaming for
He's
it.
He's furious. I think we aren't going to see the last of Joe Jackson's attacking impetus.
Very composed on the ball there, Mbele.
I mean, he's been such a seamless fit back into this Farnham side. Does everything so cleanly. He was so good for us in the first season that Paul Johnson was here. Wasn't the same quality side.
Very satisfying player to watch.
Oh, fantastic.
Very easy on the eye.
And he's got better, and he's matured. You know, he's still a young player.
Jack Dean, speaking of satisfying players to watch, he's brought down by Gabriel. Gabriel not happy with the decision. I think he can have too many complaints. You can understand the frustration all round, though.
Yeah, don't forget to stay with us during half-time. It's 44 minutes gone, but don't forget to stay during half-time. We'll be discussing the league so far, what we've been interested in so far with different teams performing, maybe not up to how we expected them to, but also Farnham Town's start to the season, which has been excellent. We'll do 15 minutes of chatting through that.
Cooksley's delivery. Oh, and that was a chance for Stepney. Had a good chance on Saturday, and that was equally promising.
Yeah, that was a good one. Probably not as good as the one on Saturday, which was only about a yard out, but that was more akin to the one he scored away at Moneyfields.
His former club, Rains Park Vale, still lead by 2-1.
And Ashford still lead Hartley Whitney 1-0, and that is half-time. As the clock end starts singing, "Are You Baggy in Disguise?"
Mbele. We are at injury time, but there have been a couple of stoppages.
Yeah, I think the referee will look to be courteous on Binfield, as it's been a barrage of attacks here at the Memorial Ground under the lights. And the paying spectators have got their money's worth so far. Not only have Farnham Town scored 4 goals, they've been a pleasure to watch.
Cooksley. It's a back from Jack Dean. St Croix gives it away. Can't afford to be sloppy. Cooksley has to concede the free kick.
Yeah, a few sloppy moments in the first half from Sandy St Croix.
Wins possession back though, momentarily at least, and then wins a free kick.
Yeah, I was just about going to say he has got his goal. It was a very well taken goal. I think he's been quite handy going forward. He's just a tiny bit wasteful in the middle part of the pitch. Holds himself to high standards. And I think he's done well to win the ball back when he has lost the ball, but tiny bit sloppy. But we're picking. Farnham Town 4-0 up.
Mark Waters. Last few moments here of the first half that couldn't have gone much better.
First time Joe Jackson has got a bit of the ball.
Mbele taking his time.
Again, it's this neat passing play that will tire Binfield out. We're already 4 down. And you can sense that Pat Nash is getting a bit bored back there, trying the spectacular passes.
To the keeper it goes. Had a few awkward ones to deal with.
He has.
Not convincing.
Just about dealt with that one.
It's lovely from Mbele. Dean dispossessed, just took too long on it.
Yeah, Farnham need to maintain the standards, move the ball quickly.
Little.
Very good.
That's ricocheted nicely for him. Little. Jack Dean is just constantly screaming for it, as is Joe Jackson.
Yeah, that's where the spaces are. And that's a poor pass.
See what he was trying to do. Adam Little was with his back to goal. And Jordan Stepney was too quick there for Fosu.
Did well, Jordan Stepney. Mini mistake. Letting the ball go past him, but did really well in the end to recover. Just use his strength, experience.
Waters. Is there time for one more opportunity?
Lovely touch.
Ken Jack Dean screaming for it. Oof. Nice challenge from Ethan Gold, who's had his work cut out for him in the first half.
Brilliant from Richie Mbele, who's been fantastic since he came in, introduced into a high-intensity game with high standards.
Love the way Ryan Kinane is already talking to the player he knows is going to get the ball, telling them how much time they've got.
We're almost playing a 4-3-3 here. Cooks is almost playing like a free roll in the middle.
Richie, don't get too high too quickly.
Waters looking for Jackson. Oh, his touch not quite heavy enough. We've played 5 additional minutes, and that will be that.
Yeah, and do stay with us for a chat. But Farnham Town have been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, plenty to discuss from a first half that has brought 4 goals. 3, of course, from Shea Brennan, and the other from Sanders and Croy. Binfield have been restricted to very little, if any, opportunities. And the hope, of course, is that we see similar intensity and similar number of chances created, and hopefully a similar number of goals in the second half.
Yeah, in front of the clock end would be good. You know, there are plenty of fans in here come to watch goals. They've seen 4 so far, and they'd like to see a few more down their end. But Farnham Town plus 20 on the goal difference. It's been a high-scoring start to the season, Ben Smith.
It has, and thanks for joining us, of course, for this halftime show, which is brought to you by the Podcast Guys, live video and audio podcast production. If you're looking to give your brand a voice, thanks again to the Podcast Guys for sponsoring the halftime show on a stream, Harry, that started in typical fashion for Farnham this season. An early goal. Shea Brennan needed one, didn't he?
He did need one. I think he'd admit that himself. And it's kind of the goal he needed to score as well. He got in a few times, about 10 minutes of play, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times in the 10 minutes prior, and but was offside, or he didn't quite make the most of his chance, and then that perfect pass came in finally, Joe Jackson, and he just swept past the goalkeeper, and it took an age to hit the back of the net, but there was a lot of excitement from the face of Shea Brennan when it did, and he deserved his goal, and he went on to score 2 more.
He's had to sit and watch Owen Dean score 9 goals, and Adam Liddell take a lot of plaudits to start the season as well. Then Gray Evans comes in. Must be difficult for a striker knowing there's that much competition for places, especially when you're not scoring that many goals. Maybe it needed a moment like that goal, and obviously this first half in total, to really ignite his Farnham career.
It did, and you can see he's a quality striker, and he also gives us something slightly different to what the other strikers do. Owen Dean's far more likely to drop in and drive at the defence. He's a very good finisher. Liddell will work the defence tirelessly, but he's probably not a natural-born 25-goal-a-season striker, and I think, again, he would admit that. Gray Evans is powerful, aerial threat, strength. You know, he's a very, very different option for us. Again, has a great record at this level and above. And Shea Brennan has never played at Step 4, but he's banged goals in for years at Step 5, and most recently at Tooting and Mitcham, where he scored 30 or more goals last season in the league that we were in a very, very poor Tooting and Mitcham side. And he just needed to get properly off the mark. The goal at Moneyfields, it was a great striker's goal, but it was the 5th goal of a 5-0, and we talk about it a lot. Like, meaningful goals do matter for strikers, and he scored 3 meaningful goals today. And I don't think we'll see a huge amount more of Shea Brennan in this second half, because I think they'll be really keen to get the likes of Lewis Flatman and Owen Dean on the pitch. But the second goal was fantastic. Great work rate from Adam Liddell, who looks like a totally different animal this year. Cut it back, and Brennan was there from 3 yards, just turn it past the goalkeeper, and then the third goal was very reminiscent of the first, and again he rounds the goalkeeper. But we said it in commentary, he took his time. He ran the goalkeeper, could have easily snatched it with his left foot. It was a tight angle. He took his time, cut inside, waited for the defender to commit, and just brushed it into the bottom corner. And it smacked of confidence, and maybe confidence that he didn't have going into this game. But I'm sure he'll come out of this match with confidence sky high.
You wonder with that chance that he took for the hat-trick goal, if that had been the first chance he's had, whether he'd have taken it.
Yeah, 100%. You know, he had so much time to think about it. I think the beauty of the first chance is that once he's come onto the ball, all he's had to do is one touch around the goalkeeper, one touch with his right foot into the bottom corner. Very different the third one. You know, it's one touch around the goalkeeper, but he's taken himself wide onto his left foot, his weaker foot, and then he's decided to cut inside, and like I said, taken his time and just picked his spot. And smacked of a very, very confident forward player, and we've got a lot of them.
Sam Disancora being another one. He's got his second goal for the club tonight. He's kind of been thrust into a difficult situation with Daryl Sanders being out now for a little while. Sam Disancora kind of becomes a key figure in that number 10 slot, and the fact that he can contribute with goals as much as anything else is really going to be key.
I think if you look across the whole team, we've got goal scorers from very, very deep. You know, Jack Dean is a huge goal threat, both from assists and scoring them himself. Now we're seeing Joe Jackson at left back. You know, he's a huge goal threat. Kenane and Stepney will win headers in the box with set pieces all day long. So, you know, they're goal threats, and probably the player you'd say in the starting 11 who is the least goal threat is probably Mark Waters in the role that he plays in the team. And that's not having a go at him. That's just the role he's in there to do. He has been on the score sheet so far this season, which is good to see. But yeah, Sam coming to the side, only played a couple of games in this system. And only a couple of games with Daryl, who would be the sort of natural 10 in that role. But I think him complementing Harry Cooksey is a really interesting thing to watch. Cooksey's happy to just pick up the ball in all sorts of different pockets across the pitch, at left back, right back, far more akin to the likes of Daryl. And Sam will be the third man run past the strikers, and we saw it again. He was slipped in, took his time, picked his spot near post, very very similar to the finish that Owen Dean scored on Saturday against Ashford Town. And good to see another player come in and contribute goals early and feel confident in this system, which is a difficult system to get to grips with. And I think that probably goes under the radar a bit. 4-2-2-2 is a hard system to get to grips with, and you need the right players to do it, because it's a huge amount of strain on the fullbacks, and it requires very, very good technical players in the middle, because you're so crowded in there that you need to be able to pop the ball fast, one touch, two touch, and we've seen it in this first half. But we have been absolutely fantastic on the ball. And I have to say, he's been moved out to left back, but Joe Jackson was sublime in that first half.
He was, and eyebrows might have been raised when the team sheet came out and there was no Owen Dean on there. 9 goals in as many games this season, the star of the show so far. That was a brave move from Paul Johnson, wasn't it? I mean, he'll be delighted that it's paid off, but even regardless of the outcome, it was a very brave move and an interesting one.
Very interesting one. I think, you know, there's a lot to be said for rotating a side that has been playing Tuesday, Saturday, and will continue to for the next couple of weeks. We've got a lot of games this season, and you know, we've just talked about how different Shea looks already for scoring his goals. Owen Dean's got his goals this season. Shea has needed that. He's needed that sort of performance, and maybe Jono had looked at Binfield as an opponent that he expected to beat, and he expected Shea to have some good opportunities in front of goal this evening. And yeah, he's repaid his manager 3 times and killed the game, really. And I'm now sure Owen Dean will be licking his lips to come on and add to this tally.
Feels with Shea getting his hat-trick tonight that a lot of the pieces of the puzzle of this team are really starting to come together, and the final one that we've sort of been discussing away from the camera is the defence. It was so jumbled up last season.
Yep. Even
the start of this season, some injuries, Stepney with a couple of injuries as well, and a suspension, of course. That centre-back partnership now is starting to look like it's set and it's formidable, and Stepney's looking really comfortable.
It's as important as our midfield, the 2 centre-backs especially, and Pat. And I don't want to sort of minimise his impact on this team, but those 2 and the goalkeeper can keep the ball well, step into midfield, make things happen, and also play it long. You know, we've seen a few times where Stepney maybe it hasn't come off every single time, but has looked for that diagonal to Jack Dean, who is so high and getting a huge amount of space. And I'm sure we'll see it more from Ryan Kenane out to Joe Jackson on the left-hand side in this second half too. So it's a really, really interesting thing to watch. Farnham went through last season invincible and conceding very, very few goals with what will actually, if you look back, be deemed as a very, very sort of mumbo-jumbo back 4 that kept on changing, with really only Ryan Kenane being the mainstay. Let's not forget, that Jack Dean was out for 3.5 months. Max had his injuries in and out, and amongst lots of other players who couldn't quite get a run of games to go together. And actually, if you'd have named our starting back four at the start of last season, we only played that starting back four twice last season. And to have gone through 51, 52 games and done as well as we did last season with that disruption is a huge credit to the management team, but also a huge credit to the mainstays of that defence, which is Ryan and Pat, who've done an incredible job and sort of the bastions of the style of play and the standards. But it will be a lot nicer as a fan and as someone involved in the club to be able to watch a back four that's far more settled this year, because you already can see that is what sort of instills the right message to the players in front of them.
If we reflect a little bit on Saturday, because it was a fascinating game, and I want to talk about the start of the season as a whole, but there's a noticeable difference tonight, not just in the tempo and the attitude of the players, but the coaching staff as well seem a lot more vocal down below. It's almost as if they recognise standards did slip a little bit for whatever reason on Saturday,
yep.
And it's all about making double sure that doesn't happen tonight.
Yeah, I think we talk about it in the Premier League, and you never want to play against angry Man City. You never want to be the game after Pep Guardiola's just dropped points, because you know they're going to get battered and they're going to be so at it. The intensity is going to be high, and if it's not, Pep's going to make quick changes. He's going to make sure that the standards are upheld. And I honestly think that's very, very similar to how Farnham react to bad games. And I'm not saying we were terrible against Ashford. We just weren't at it in the same way as we've seen in this first half, and in the same way as we've seen lots of different games at the start of this season. And I'm sure that's been the message from Paul and from Jimmy, in the week and also before the game. And we've seen the perfect reaction, and angry Farnham have come to play. It's the perfect surface to do so, by the way. And I'd like to give a huge shout out to Paul Tanner and everyone else who helps around the ground, because the surface, given the amount of water that we've had in Surrey this week, is unbelievable. We played 2 games on this pitch, in Saturday and tonight, which last season, would we have got those games on with as much ease? Maybe we'd have got them on, but the pitch would not be looking like it is tonight. And you can't play the system with the players in the style in the same way with the same effectiveness if it isn't the pitch up to standard like it is tonight. So huge shout out to Paul and the rest of the guys who work tirelessly around the club, off the pitch, because the club's looking amazing, and you get so many people that comment on the pitch. So yeah, well done, Paul, because it allows us to go and play the style of football that we want to go and watch, and also the style of football the fans also love to see.
Absolutely. I mean, we're waxing lyrical about Farnham for that first half, and it's looking like it's going to be 6 wins from 6, but let's not pretend it's been a perfect start to the campaign, because it was disappointing, wasn't it, to lose those 2 home games in the Cup, probably against teams that you would hope to be competing at a similar level too.
Yeah, look, both very good sides, Sittingbourne and Flackwell, and I imagine both of them will do very well in their respective leagues this season. They've gone on and done well already in the cups that they knocked us out in, with Flackwell winning 6-1 at the weekend in the trophy, and Sittingbourne winning in the FA Cup. So, I have to give them huge credit, because they came here and they did a job on us, and we're a very good side, right? So, fair play to them. They've came here and they've earned their win. And yeah, it was disappointing, but that wasn't the key for us this year. Last season, it was very, very clear from the start that we wanted to focus on the league and the Vars, and what we got in the FA Cup would be a bonus. We ended up doing quite well in the FA Cup. We did really well in the Vars. We fell victim to a poor performance and also a great performance from the opposition in Bridgewater in the last 32 of the Vars. But we went unbeaten and invincible in the league, so we can't have too many qualms with how last season went. And this season, the Cups were never our priority. We knew that actually they'd be more of a distraction than anything else. That's not to say that we didn't want to try and we didn't want to go a bit further than we did. We did, of course we did. But it's actually allowed us to have a real string of fixtures at home and allowed us to pile on the points. And it sits us at the top of the table, 3 points clear. I'm just going to have a look at it. 3 points clear, and we're on plus 20 goal difference after 6 games, which is 12 goals ahead of the nearest challenger. So, maybe a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, and it's plus 20, and there's potential to add to that in this second half, which the players have re-emerged for. We heard Joe Jackson say last week the league is the bread and butter, of course. Couldn't put his finger on why the Cup ties here just had a different feel to them, maybe different performance levels, but as you say, Harry, the league couldn't have started any better, and it would take something quite extraordinary to prevent the perfect 6 from 6. It was a relatively nice opening stretch of fixtures, especially so many games at home, which is really what Farnham have made count.
And what I think that's fair. I think we have been very kind with, we've been very pleased with the fixture list. We did have to, though, beat first and second, the 2 form teams in the league here over the last couple of weeks, which is no mean feat. But also, you know, these are the games you've got to go and win. And when we discussed last season at Step 5, we knew we didn't have to beat your Naphills, your Jerseys, your Abbey Rangers, your Tadleys. You didn't have to beat them. You needed to beat the bottom 12, bottom 14, and you needed to beat them comfortably. And if you could do that, you put 28 wins on the board, and that was nearly enough to win the league. So, you know, we've got very, very similar strategy this season. Let's beat the teams at the bottom, and then, you know, make it competitive with the teams at the top, and we've done that so far as well. And that's standing us in good stead on top of the league.
Absolutely. Thank you for sticking with us during the halftime show, which was brought to you by the podcast guys. Full service podcast and video production and live event podcasting as well. As always, we're very grateful to them and the rest of our partners as Binfield make a change, as Rishan Espirit comes on, as does Harvey Griffiths.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Binfield making changes. No. I'd have done the same thing if I was on it. If I need to stay on the pedal to the metal, get on the accelerator, and make this pay.
Michelle Willis asked on YouTube, when is Lewis Flatman back? He is actually back already. He's on the bench, making his return from suspension. And there's also a commenter saying Mbele played wonderful. Well, he was only on the pitch for a few minutes, but I agree he was superb.
He was, and he's been superb. A superb signing. Great to see him back in a Farnham Town shirt. Great to see the name on the back of his shirt. We've come a long way since the last time we pulled on a Farnham kit.
Christian Winter said Waters and Cooksley back dominating. Absolutely. Both influential in their own way. Ryan Kinane will already be thinking how important a clean sheet would be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you've got strikers wanting more goals, you've got defenders wanting clean sheets.
Not much to ask.
No. And we got me just hoping enough match balls come home that we can play a game on Saturday.
Yeah, another home game.
And there goes another one.
On Saturday. Lucky that one stays within the confines of the stadium.
Trust your keeper!
But an early throw in the second half, in line with the penalty area. And we do in fact need a new ball.
We always get messages the morning after a live stream, because lots of the players, obviously high on adrenaline, especially with the amount of wins that we've had, go back and watch the live stream in full. So if you are watching back, hello.
Adam Liddell, across the face, just cut out though. Yeah, well, let's make sure we credit every player so that they're pleased with the comments when they.
Yeah, we normally get it in the neck from players that we've slagged off, and we get nice messages from players that we've been nice to. As Harry Cooksley lines up a corner in front of the clock end.
It's not going to be the first man. He will get another go at it though, Cooksley. It's a better cross. Kinane! Well, that looked like it was going to be his first goal of the season.
Yeah, it was a great ball in from Cooksley, second time of asking. First one wasn't very good at all, but Kinane really looking to open his Farnham Town account for this season. I think he scored 7 or 8 last season in that style. Towering headers.
And I hesitate to call it a drought because you might watch this tomorrow.
Yeah, and you don't want to get told off.
That was a great effort, Ryan.
Come on, Binfield!
Looking forward to his next goal because he might bring a smile up him.
Yeah, well, that would chance to be a fine thing.
Waters wins the header. The wind aided him there. Brennan comes for Cooksley.
Gorgeous touch. Just want to keep the pressure on, Farnham. Just don't want this to peter out. These are the ones that, you know, goal difference does count at the end of the season, especially at the top of the table. You know, it's important. And, you know, Farnham Town have been excellent so far at making that count, but these are the chances to really, really increase that number. It's a really clever pass.
Mbele. Never one to take too much time on the ball, Richie Mbele. It's a clear instruction to take just one touch and move it on. What a ball that is from Stepney. Oh, just couldn't quite get there, Cooksley.
We've had a few of those from Jordan Stepney already where it's just a yard too far, but it's a really clever pass. That would end up being more like a rugby territory kick than anything else.
It can really split defences open so quickly. The Stepney diagonal. Just becoming a trademark. Binfield get the throw. Plenty of disagreement over there.
It'll be interesting to see when Paul Johnson makes the first change. And who it will be. Obviously made a change already with Max Meaton going off injured. And Richie Mbele coming on.
Yeah, that was an enforced change, of course.
As Moneyfields equalise at Rains Park. Callum Laycock getting the goal, and Moneyfields are not out of that game at all. I thought Rains Park was kind of sort of sweep them aside once they got ahead.
Yeah, they were very short price favourites to do so. Pretty much coming back from an offside position there, Shea Brennan.
That's not a clever ball.
Liddell looking to punish, and Brennan is offside.
Disappointing.
They continue to create chances, Farnham. Canane wins his header. Waters battling away. It's going to be Smith-Jones, though. Given away by Jones Jr. Stepney was decisive. Farnham. Ryan Canane looking to push them high up the pitch.
It's a nice pass.
Yeah, well held up as well, but Stepney again helping his team out as Disancroy collects. And now Waters looking to release Brennan, and there's no flag this time.
Nice first touch.
Brennan. Oh, he's done it again. It's 5 for Farnham, 4 for Brennan. Suddenly, he cannot stop scoring. And they have started the second half with the same intensity as the first.
It was all comes back to this tackle from Jordan Stepney. He wins the ball back brilliantly, pass it into midfield, and then it was just an open chasm in front of him to pick the pass. Shea Brennan used his strength and took his time, picked his spot, and in front of the clock end, found the bottom corner. It's 5-0 Farnham, and this is a rout.
Well, if ever there was any doubt, Shea Brennan is excellent at football.
Yeah, I'd say so.
He's shown that emphatically this evening. Smile on his face.
I don't think we'll see him for much longer. He did score 5 in a game last season for Tooting and Mitcham. He scored 4 twice, I think. When it rains, it pours in Brennan land.
Wouldn't want to be Paul Johnson picking the front two for Saturday.
No. How can you drop a player who's just scored 4?
Stanley's just
very good.
dominant that time, and Bellet's given the free kick away, though, much to the chagrin of Paul Johnson.
Yeah, just felt like you had to give it. It was just too aggressive from both players. Farnham Town just looked first and willing to get to every ball.
Some encouraging comments for Binfield in the YouTube comments section. Can they give those individuals something to celebrate here? It's been very, very hard work for them. Decent delivery, dealt with by Kinane.
Chance for Farnham. Oh, it's just overhit the head up. Farnham have been very, very good.
I think that's fair to say. This one from Mbele, though. Gabriel. He's just looking to pick out the top corner. It's always going to be a difficult one from there.
Yeah, standards there. Ryan Kinane instilling that not to take the piss. There's still a job to do. Farnham Town can't take their foot off the pedal. They've been excellent.
Another change being prepared on the Binfield bench. Daniel Lewis getting ready.
Great header.
Waters.
He's been excellent, Waters.
Mbele. Now Jack Dean. Seem to be enjoying themselves in the clock end.
All three Farnham remaining subs are stripped and ready.
Cooksley. The St Croix Little might be offside. He is.
And this will be all three Farnham subs.
And I'm sure.
I'll be shocked if Brennan's not one of them.
Yeah, and if he is withdrawn, he'll get a standing ovation, I'm sure.
Jordan Stepney,
who has played well tonight, gets an applause from my co-commentator. And he looks happy with himself, as he should. Liam Flanagan on. Owen Dean's coming on.
It'd be interesting to see where Lewis Flatman plays.
Adam Little's coming off.
Yeah, why would you risk Adam Little injuries? And
Joe Jackson coming off, so Shea Brennan is going to stay on the pitch.
Shea Brennan will get 90. He cannot believe it. He cannot believe it. He's talking to Owen. He's just spent the last 35 seconds waiting for his number to go up, and now he's just sorting out the tactics of the front two. He can't believe his luck. 4 goals so far for Shea Brennan. It could be more.
Good to see Lewis Flatman back on the pitch.
Absolutely. And there's goals in it for Lewis Flatman, who hasn't scored yet this season.
It's felt like a long suspension.
Despite it only being 10 days.
Owen Dean, good first touch. Oh, and he's released St Croix. He's got 1 goal to his name already, and he's looking to make it 2, and what a goal to do it! Sam St Croix gets his second of the night, and that was spectacular from Farnham's number 24.
What a goal! The goalkeeper was in no man's land, but the defender was catching St Croix, and he's looked up, and he's gone, I'll have a bit of that. 6-0, Farnham Town are flying.
And an assist from Owen Dean within seconds of coming onto the pitch. He wasn't going to miss out on all the goal contribution fun, was he? They're laughing down below us. Frankie Hobbs having a lovely time down there with Great Evans.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, Great Evans, for all the fun he's having, he won't love seeing all these goals going. Coming to a side, expecting to come in and play.
we cannot accuse Farnham of stepping off the accelerator in the second half.
Well, we want more. We want more.
Farnham are sending out a statement on a night where other teams in this league at home are struggling against sides towards the foot of the table. Here's Owen Dean. And now Waters. They'll be hungry for more. They all want to get in on the act. And I mean all of them. The St. Croix have moved on to 3 goals for the season. He wouldn't have thought if he scored 2 tonight he'd be still behind Brennan. But that's how it's panned out as Flatman holds onto the ball well.
Brilliant pass.
Found this St. Croix and there's space in behind again. Jack Dean looking to exploit it. Gets the cross in, headed away before it could reach Brennan. Pat Nash, this time going down the left-hand side, that's where Owen Dean is. He's excellent in the air, of course. Given away by Flanagan. It's a bit scrappy back there. Canane comes across to sort it out, and a hopeful fall from Fosu. There's going to be a corner. That was all a bit messy and unnecessary. So, corner to Binfield, but last time they had one, Farnham scored within 30 seconds. Shea Brennan is the only Farnham player not defending this set piece.
Which is where the standards have to stay. Farnham won't want to concede.
Flatman gets a touch on it. Canane still screaming at his teammates. It's his header. Pat Nash prevents the corner, and he's quickly got his head up and picked out Owen Dean quite expertly. Bele's in acres of space. To St. Croix. St. Croix growing in confidence.
You can see why.
Flatman. He's looking for Brennan.
It was a nice idea.
Never shy to
Brilliant header.
Here's Owen Dean. And it's almost a hat-trick for St. Croix.
I thought it was in. I was ready to celebrate. I was ready to jump off the gantry. It looked destined for the top corner. With his week of 30, it would have been some hat-trick from St. Croix. We talked about how good the hat-trick was from Shea Brennan. That would have been some hat-trick from St. Croix. He's still on the pitch and he's still got half an hour left.
It's going to be a long half an hour for Binfield and their supporters. We don't want this to stop at all.
Farnham look at the spring and attack every time.
And Binfield persists with the high line that's caused so many problems. What a ball that is from Mbele.
Yeah. From defence to attack, very, very fast.
Switch of play from Cooksley. On by Flanagan. Oh, almost brought down by Flatman. Smith-Jones. Mbele cuts it out. Still a real pace about the game.
There is. Binfield certainly still want their goal, but that's a great ball.
St. Croix would love another goal himself.
I enjoyed this, Ben. I've enjoyed it, I have to say.
Yeah.
Not many games at Farnham Town I enjoy, because I'm stressed. I've really not been that stressed
You've
tonight.
definitely got a spring in your step.
And that's just not because the floorboards are spongy.
Oh, indeed. His brother, and now Mark Waters. Flatman. Couldn't quite get there first. Cut out by Mbele. Well, kept there by Fossey. But they just can't make anything stick up front.
Moving the ball. Transition then. Come on, then, if you want to give the ball away, that easy. Can you transition?
Oh, indeed. Seen plenty of the ball since he was introduced.
Oh, indeed, he's almost playing right wing.
Yeah, he'd love to get his 50th goal for the club. Probably no better chance to do so with the game being as open as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get a good chance to do it.
Mbele. Too short for Flatman. Mbele playing at left back now, having come on initially in central midfield. Pat Nash looking to shepherd it out. Canane furious.
Yeah, understandably so. Farnham Town not dealing with it brilliantly, and it is going back to that area. Getting a bit too complacent. Obviously getting a huge amount of chances when they do spring the ball forward, but just need to be a bit aware of the ball when it comes back. Not because we're at risk of losing this game, we're absolutely not, but it's all about those standards. As we get into the last 10 minutes at Hartley Whitney. Ashford Town 1-0 still.
Good delivery, but an excellent header away by Mark Waters. Danger not completely clear though, and that might be.
Now it needs to come out quick.
First save of the evening, and again he picks out.
Kick.
Oh, indeed, inch
Farnham.
perfect from Nash.
Farnham shirts are flooding forward.
Oh, and Owen Dean's ball across the face. Couldn't find Brennan. He's going to get back in and win it back there, Owen Dean.
Oh, that was wasteful. Just not being as aggressive with their little touches.
That's a good first touch from Dzimba.
Done really well.
Shot away, he does. Pat Nash makes the save, it was right at him. Binfield, they're just finding a bit of a route back into the second half. Of course, the game's gone, but certainly see a route back to a consolation at least. Some pride restored. It's the best spell they've had. A lot of it's come from Farnham's sloppiness, which they'll look to snap out.
That's a great header.
Possible. And it drops in the box, and that's another ball lost.
Well, there goes another ball, another £35. We're about 120 quid down so far this evening. It's gone a bit flat in the ground, which is something to say when you're 6-0 up.
And still creating chances. Still a few hundred watching on YouTube. We are live on Twitter as well, of course.
Binfield certainly pressing higher. Pat does really well.
Here's Jones Jr. Binfield enjoying their best spell of possession.
That's nowhere near.
That will come to an end with that crossfield ball that goes out of play. And they will turn to Lucas Sapanu, and a couple of changes in total. Charlie George coming on.
Right.
Position for Binfield, going off to the 10th annual Fossil, placed by 17 Lucas Farnham.
Like watching Brazil, says Paul Birmingham. And Gary Frith says, we beat Binfield 9-0 last season, you've got a way to go yet.
Well, look, I'm not going to get greedy. I'm not going to get greedy, and nor shall I expect that many goals, but it'd be nice. 20 minutes to go. Farnham will definitely carve out more chances. Certainly to get control of the game back. Lost it a bit over the last sort of 5 minutes or so. Let's get their crispness of passes back. Obviously, did make 3 changes from the side that was bopping it about.
There's still plenty of players in Farnham colours that want to get on the score sheet.
Absolutely. 2 of which are right in front of me. Number 13, Lewis Flatman, and number 7, Owen Dean.
Yeah, Owen Dean's been used to having all the headlines, but not tonight. Waters steps in to snuff out that attack. Flatman wasn't on the same wavelength as him. Clockend find their voice again. Bele with the challenge, fair one.
They finally found the ability to knock a few passes together at Binfield.
Yeah, the substitutes seem to have made a positive impact. That's a nice flick from Brennan onto de St. Croix.
Now keep it!
Yeah, they've managed to sort of gain their press back from the front line with the freshness.
That was always going to be won by Owen Dean. And into the path of his brother Jack Dean.
Flatman at the back stick!
Oh, it's not going to come for Flatman. His eyes would have been lighting up there. Gets the free kick.
Can't come back! Can't come back that easy! Work, you've just come on, Lucas!
Well, if you are joining us for the first time, we do live stream every midweek game. We can't do that.
Here's Owen Dean into the box. Brennan! He's got 5! And Owen Dean, with his second assist of the night, picks out his strike partner. What a night for Shay Brennan.
What is happening before my eyes? Shay Brennan. I mean, we keep saying it, he's repaid the faith he's been shown, but that's another brilliant striker's goal. One back high, Owen Dean finds a strike partner, and that was the easiest finish of the evening.
And it's strange to say this because it's 7-0, but quite a lot of the time when they've been in that position, Farnham have not picked out the right pass. Owen Dean picked out the perfect pass for Brennan, who is catching Owen Dean up. The top goal scorer race.
He's got 6. You know what? I feel like far less games.
Yeah.
Certainly far less minutes.
What a funny evening.
I've enjoyed every single minute of it. It's a long, long time since I've seen Farnham Town put 7 past a team.
Well,
tooting away.
In a game Shay Brennan played in.
I haven't seen him put 7 past them in the at home.
No.
Farnham again beat the press and will want more.
Well, can they get de St. Croix a hat-trick? That'll be the next milestone.
I can't believe only 2 people have scored.
Here's Owen Dean, looking to make it 3. Decent enough strike from Owen Dean.
Just couldn't get it quite out of his feet, could he? I'll tell you what, the guys who are editing this will not be happy with the amount of goals that have gone in this evening. And the amount of chances.
Flatman.
Brilliant.
Oh, that could be brilliant. Brennan, the flag goes up. He's trying all sorts over there, Shea Brennan now.
Imagine if he got another one. I've never seen someone get 6 in a game, in a proper game. Sunday League stuff.
He's got 17 minutes plus injury time.
Well, it feels like on a Farnham attack every 2 or 3 minutes, and if you are watching, stay tuned. I don't think this is over.
Yeah.
This is also, maybe say, a bit of a damning result for Binfield, who are down there, who was actually doing quite well on goal difference, and this will take quite some hit to that.
Someone commented saying, don't you get your lost footballs back from the residents?
We sometimes do. We sometimes do. It's Hartley Whitney, Ashford Town. Ashford still 1-0 up. Gets into injury time. There, slightly earlier kick-off of 7:30 there.
Will Harvey asked, where are Farnham in the league? Well, they are top, and they were top on goal difference coming into this evening. They're about to go 3 points clear, and the goal difference, of course, going to be significantly improved. Away by Jack Dean. Cross comes in. Waters with the touch. And Flanagan will stop that going for a throw. And Mbele can clean up and win the free kick. And the yellow card's going to be shown for dissent.
What number's that? Number 9.
Yeah, December, who scored and assisted on his debut on Saturday. Not quite been his night this evening. Not necessarily any fault of his own. Binfield have been completely outplayed in every area of the pitch. Flatman. St Croix. Brennan's on the move. Owen Dean calling for it as well. Flatman switches the play and brings out Jack Dean. Here's Owen Dean.
One more. Harry Cooks is in space here.
Harry Cooksley cries of shoot down below us.
Here's a man who won't need a second invitation if he can find some space. That's a great
clever
pass.
pass for Waters. Didn't quite come off in the end.
But finally to track back.
Yeah,
Owen Dean's doing just that.
It's 2 on 5, really. Plenty of bodies getting back. Clean sheet will be just as important now for Farnham as any more goals. Chiambele.
I think he's been fantastic. Obviously called upon at a time he wasn't expecting to be. Great kick from Pat Nash. If he can flick it on, Flatman's in.
Looks like it'll be Farnham ball.
Still 2-2 at Rains Park. 10 minutes to go there, 10 minutes to go here.
Well, we know they've got match winners in their team.
Yeah, you'd fancy them.
Pat Nash taking a chance. He's all right. Would be satisfying to see Farnham equal their first half tally. 4 in the first, 1 away from the same in the second.
Whilst the manager has a go at the right back for Binfield.
Harry Cooksley.
Sanderson Croy's got a bit of space.
Over the top from Cooksley, it's going to go all the way through.
3 yards! Be aggressive with your press! It's one pace! It's one pace in your work!
Direct ball forward. Misses everyone. Jack Dean. As always,
That's a pull.
3 or 4 Farnham players.
Oh, I thought...
Flatman will have one for fun. Not as accurate as St Croix was earlier, with a similar effort.
I'm still thinking about that goal. I'm still thinking about it. It was quite some finish.
Plenty of choice for goal of the game. I think that one will take it.
Nothing else was on for him. It's not always nice when a chip hits the back of the net as well, instead of bouncing before the goal.
Kai Tanner's watching along on the stream, says if Shea doesn't get 6, he's no good.
Fucking nothing there!
worked.
Much better from Binfield.
Canane comes out of position and he's adjudged to have committed a foul. Demands more from his teammates, Canane.
There has been a red card for Ashford Town, defending with 10 men.
Bele gives away a free kick this time.
It's Aaron McLeish, number 9, who played here on Saturday. Got a red card.
Shout out Dallas McDermott, all the way from Australia.
Yeah, get your final score predictions in. We've got 10 minutes left. Get your final score predictions in if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on X, Twitter. Get those score predictions in. 7-0 at the moment, 10 minutes plus added time to go. Binfield put a great ball in.
Canane's header away, not completely over though the danger. Jack Dean trying to stay with his man. The shot in the end, way wide. Can I have a Sanders injury update? One of the comments.
You can. It will be a few weeks. That's about as much as I can give you at the moment. We haven't got a full diagnosis. It's like a thigh hip flexor sort of injury. I'm not expecting it to be anything worse than that, but you know, I think displays like tonight shows that, you know, maybe what's all the hype about that on Sanders?
Flatman brought down fairly, says the referee. Here is Jones Jr. George. Griffiths.
We'll let you know as soon as it's the 90th minute.
And
No chance here.
real chance. Going all the way through. Just enough Farnham bodies to deal with it. It will come for Smith Jones though. Jack Dean prevents the corner.
Farnham living a bit dangerously, but they look so confident going forward when they do break away.
Kaitana says that JJ's nutmeg was a bad first touch.
That is a squad joke. That is a squad joke. Apparently Owen Dean had 5 bad first touches before his goal against Ashford.
Away by Cooksley. Griffiths.
Allowed all the time in the world to pick.
Floated towards the back post and Nash got the touch. And won't be in a rush to launch that one forward as he has been the last few times he's gathered one.
Full time at Hartley Whitney. Hartley Whitney 0, Ashford 1 with 10 men. 3 points on the board for Luke Tufts. He showed grit and determination with his side on Saturday. Probably were a bit unlucky to come away without anything. Put an excellent shift in and they get their just desserts.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be happy with 3 points in those 2 games. Got a real fighting spirit about them. Here's Disencroy. Oh, he's seen the keeper off his line again, and I tell you what, if that wasn't scuffed in the way it was, that might have found the net.
Not very popular man down below me. Apologies if you heard that language. This is a family show. Unfortunately, it's been a murderous evening if you're a Binfield fan.
But not if you're a Shea Brennan fan.
It still baffles me that we're 7 goals in and only 2 goal scorers. That will baffle a lot of people when they click on that 7-0.
A real zip about Binfield this last 15 minutes or so. Owen Dean getting back into.
They've got nothing to lose, have they, Binfield? They can try a few things that maybe they weren't in the first half. Done really well.
Griffiths. And backing into Mbele there.
Brilliant from Cooksley.
Zimba, here's Cooksley. Looking to get the 1-2. But they're starting to win these 50-50s as well, Binfield. You have to give it to them.
So much running. I've got to give them credit.
Lovely.
They've been much, much better.
Lovely turn. Ball given away, though. And this is where Farnham can be devastating. 7 minutes to go. And 7 goals to the good. Farnham Town. Sanderson Croy scored 2 of them.
One of which is a fantastic finish, and it is on X Twitter if you want to go and have a watch of it. It's been clipped up. Scroll back, it was about the 59th minute. It was a fucking brilliant goal, really, really was.
You called it a family show, then you use language like that?
I just got carried away. I was just thinking about it. It's really, really lovely.
Jones Jr.
Zimba.
Zimba. And Jeans moves it across.
Still 2-2 at Rains Park. In the 85th minute, line pass.
Nice cushion touch there. And Kalane's got to get across. He did just enough to force Sapanu out wide.
Yeah, to be fair, Pat Nash has been relatively busy. He's not had to make any saves.
None that weren't right down his throat, no.
But he's had to. He's certainly been busy. Had a lot of the ball.
Jay Clements banging the drum at the clock end.
It won't be popular in the residents, but I think if they look at the result, they'll be happy with what they see. Their local team is doing very, very well this season and has done very, very well for 54 straight games.
Canane won't be happy until the clean sheet is
That's a lazy
secure,
pass.
given away by Flatman. Here's to Zimba.
There's a man over on the far side if he can find him. He's
Jones Jr. with the outside of his foot, bounces off Waters and just whacked away by Harry Cooksley, who went into challenge there. Jeans.
Binfield have certainly grown into this game since Farnham went 7 up. They just cannot find themselves a shot on target.
And the clock end have made it clear they want 8. No, Will Harvey. Farnham are not in the FA Vars. That goes up to step 5.
Great kick. Great header from Shea Brennan, who nearly found Sanderson Croy, who is looking for his hat-trick.
That's
Great
a nice
pass.
ball. Canane having to come across to help out. 2 men on the Zimba.
Can't let him through.
Gets around Flanagan. Canane again coming across to help out. And that's really superb from Ryan Canane, who keeps on going down the left-hand side.
Ryan Canane wants this.
It's just too high for Brennan. Flatman going in.
Someone has to work in. Gone into a back 5 with Cooksey and Waters.
Yeah, it's all happening back there.
This has been entertainment.
Kamikaze football. Jones Jr. Sapanu.
No shots.
Blade!
Oh, George.
Blade, just come out! Runner! Needs to move!
And time and space was allowed for the shot, which was no good.
Blade! You go high! You go high!
Just a few minutes to go. And I'm sure those of you that have been watching along have thoroughly enjoyed yourselves.
Well, yeah, thank you very much for watching along. And if you aren't subscribed on YouTube, or if you're not a follower on Twitter, then please do drop us a follow or a subscription. We really do appreciate it. It helps make all these things worth it, all the content that we create. We're also live streaming down there on TikTok, different kind of streams, like with Touchline Cam. 100,000 followers there. We create content every day on TikTok, so just stay with us on these platforms.
And the stream has been created in collaboration with the podcast guys. Thanks again to them for sponsoring. And Farnham Town are a couple of minutes away from Their biggest win of the season, as Owen Dean beats the offside trap. And he spreads it to Flatman. Plenty of Farnham players on the move. Flatman holds on. Waters. And all the way back to Pat Nash. I'm just keeping the ball until Pat Nash eventually lost one forward.
Farnham will pick up the seconds.
Through Lewis Flatman. Linesman flags for a foul on Flatman. The referee plays the advantage. Flatman for Owen Dean.
Run at him.
So Owen Dean. Given away to Charlie George and now Ashan Esprit. Final minute of the 90.
That's a nice ball to a dangerous area.
Yeah, Ryan Kinane
That's going to stay in though.
wins the header. Couple of little infringements over there, but
Farnham Town. Pro.
Down the middle!
Still 2-2 at Rains Park. More drop points at Grand Drive. And with Farnham Town accelerating, it's just not what you want to see if you're a Rains Park fan.
the referee chooses not to add any time on at the end of what has been an unbelievable night for Farnham Town, but mostly for Shay Brennan, who, having made consecutive starts in the league, rewarded Paul Johnson's faith. 5 goals from him, 2 for Sanderson Croy, including 1 spectacular effort. Final score, Farnham Town 7, Binfield 0.
Thank you very much for watching along on whatever platform it was. Really do appreciate it. Drop a subscribe, drop a follow, and we'll be back again for any midweek games here at Farnham Town, be it home or away. And keep following us along our journey. We're 54 games unbeaten now, and we need all the support we can get to continue this fine form. We're top of the league, and we are flying. Check. Thank you, mate.